Certik has released their audit on Titano Finance and there are very big changes coming soon to the project. We will see what important problems were found in the audit and how the Titano team plan to solve them. Stay tuned because at the end of the video we will talk about what this means for Titano and the investors of the project. So here we are on Certik and we can see the summary of the audit. First, we can see that there are no critical findings, which is good. However, we can see that there are 3 major findings and 2 medium, as well as 1 minor and 2 informational. However, first we are gonna see the audit process that Certik does. As we can see, the auditing process pays special attention to the following considerations: testing the smart contracts against both common and uncommon attack vectors, addressing the code base to ensure compliance with current best practices and industry standards, ensuring contract logic meets the specifications and intentions of the client, cross-referencing contract structure and implementation against similar smart contracts produced by industry leaders, through line-by-line manual review of the entire code base by industry experts. This jargon basically means that they are testing the smart contracts, their security, and comparing them with other projects. What the auditing process of Certik does, in a nutshell, is basically review the smart contract of the project to see if it has enough security and if it is well coded. We will review the most important findings, which are the 3 major and the 2 medium. The first major problem has to do with the initial token distribution. Basically, all of the Titano tokens are sent to the contract deployer when deploying the contract. This could be a centralization risk as the deployer can distribute Titano tokens without obtaining the consensus of the community. Then Certik recommends to be transparent about the initial token distribution process and that the team shall make enough efforts to restrict the access of the private key. The Titano team's solution for this problem is that the initial distribution will be split in PancakeSwap liquidity migration contract, while the remaining Titano V2 tokens will be sent to the burn address, and that they will post this info with the transactions in the white paper before the migrations start. The second major risk, and a very important one in my opinion, is the centralization risk in Titano. This basically means that the Titano owner has too much authority over the functions shown in the diagram, so that any compromise to the owner's account may allow a hacker to take advantage of this authority, because they can literally control everything in the project within one account. The solution that the Titano team has for this problem is that they will send the ownership of Titano V2 to a multi-sign contract. This basically means that they will add multi-signature to the smart contract of the project, so that not one person can change everything of the project, but they will need more than one password to change anything. The third and last major risk is the centralized risk in ad liquidity. This has to do with the account where the liquidity of the project is stored. This problem is very similar to the last one. There is one point of failure which a hacker could take advantage of to take over the project. This is solved the same way by adding a multi-sign contract combination to the liquidity receiver. The first medium problem is the fee distribution. The 13% and 18% fees that are paid are sent to addresses that don't have multi-signature, so someone could hack the project or it will be easier basically to make a rug pull. The solution that the Titano team will take is adding multi-signature to these addresses. And the second and last medium problem are potential issues with tokenomics. There are 2 potential issues in this case. First, that the rebase is not guaranteed to happen every 30 minutes because it's manual. And second, that the contract will stop yielding reward after a certain period of time, which will be 4 years. The answer of the Titano team to this issue is that the rebase function will be automatically handled by a program called Open Zeppelin Defender. And to the second issue, that the contract will stop yielding reward after a certain period of time, they say that this is correct and intentional, because the Titano token supply is limited and their intention is to distribute all the rewards before the end of 4 years. Essentially, the things that were found in this audit were flaws in the security of the project because the accounts where the project saved their funds didn't have multi-signature, so it was a one point of failure where one hacker could take over the project, or it will be much easier to rug pull the project. What these results mean for Titano and the investors of the project? First, is it a good sign that the security problems addressed by Certik were acknowledged by Titano and that they will solve them in the migration of the token to the second version? Solving these concerns means that the project will have much more security in the future, making it more difficult for hackers to take over the project and also dificulting a rug pull to happen. These improvements of security will likely bring in more investors into the project that are right now on the fence about buying, and considering that the adoption is growing steadily, this can help a lot improve the adoption of the project. I will create a video explaining all the changes that will happen in the migration to the V2 token of Titano, so subscribe so that you don't miss it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.